The Unified Extensible Firmware Interface, or UEFI, is a critical component in modern computers. It serves as the bridge between your computer's hardware and its operating system. UEFI initializes hardware components and loads the operating system, ensuring a smooth boot process. This makes UEFI a fundamental part of your computer's security. Think of UEFI as the foundation of a house. If the foundation is weak, the entire structure is compromised. Similarly, vulnerabilities in UEFI can have serious implications for your computer's security. Attackers can exploit these weaknesses to gain control of your system. UEFI's role in booting the operating system makes it an attractive target for sophisticated malware such as bootkits. These malicious programs infect the boot process itself, allowing them to take control before the operating system even starts. This makes bootkits extremely difficult to detect and remove, posing a significant threat to users' data and privacy. In a nutshell, UEFI is a critical component of modern computing, responsible for initializing your system and loading the operating system. Its pivotal role in the boot process makes it a prime target for attackers, highlighting the importance of understanding and mitigating potential vulnerabilities. Bootkits are a particularly insidious type of malware that targets the boot process of a computer system. Unlike traditional malware that infects the operating system, bootkits burrow deeper, embedding themselves within the firmware or the bootloader. This stealthy approach allows them to remain hidden from traditional security software, giving attackers a significant advantage. Imagine a thief who wants to rob a house. Instead of breaking in through a window, they replace the front door lock with their own. This allows them to enter undetected and control access to the house. Similarly, bootkits modify the boot process, giving attackers unrestricted access to the system even before the operating system loads. Once a bootkit infects a system, it can wreak havoc. It can install other malware, steal sensitive data, spy on user activity, and even disable security measures. Since bootkits operate at a level below the operating system, they are incredibly difficult to detect and remove. Reinstalling the operating system or even formatting the hard drive often fails to eliminate the threat. The stealthy nature and persistence of bootkits make them a formidable threat in the cybersecurity landscape. They underscore the importance of securing the boot process and implementing robust security measures to protect against these advanced malware attacks. A new cybersecurity threat has emerged targeting Linux systems. Dubbed Bootkitty, it's the first UEFI bootkit for Linux. Discovered by ESET in 2024, Bootkitty disables kernel signature verification. Likely developed by Korean cybersecurity students, it bypasses secure boot. Exploiting logo fail, CVE 2023-40238, it injects rogue certificates. Bootkitty's discovery underscores the need for robust firmware security. Section 4. Inside Bootkitty, Technical Deep Dive. Bootkitty compromises Linux systems by disabling security measures and gaining control over the boot process. It manipulates UEFI functions, tampers with the kernel's loading process, and injects malicious code. Bootkitty patches grub bootloader functions to bypass security checks. It intercepts the kernel's decompression process, injecting malicious modules. Bootkitty modifies the LD_preload environment variable for persistence. Its sophistication highlights the complexity of firmware-level threats. Section 5. The fallout, implications, and risks of Bootkitty. The emergence of Bootkitty has sent shockwaves through the cybersecurity community, raising concerns about the vulnerability of Linux systems to sophisticated firmware attacks. Bootkitty provides attackers with complete control over compromised systems, posing significant risks to both individuals and organizations. Traditional security measures are often ineffective against UEFI bootkits, making removal extremely difficult. Bootkitty's persistence and control can disrupt critical infrastructure, cripple businesses, and threaten national security. This highlights the need for enhanced security measures and constant vigilance against evolving threats. Section 6. Protection and mitigation. Protecting against Bootkitty and similar threats requires a multi-layered approach. First and foremost, keeping firmware and software up to date is crucial. Manufacturers regularly release updates that address known vulnerabilities, and applying these patches can significantly reduce the risk of exploitation. Implementing secure boot mechanisms is another essential step. Secure boot ensures that only trusted software is allowed to run during the boot process, preventing unauthorized code from executing. This can help block bootkits like Bootkitty from gaining a foothold in the system. Regularly auditing and monitoring system integrity is also vital. By keeping an eye on any unusual changes or behaviors, organizations can detect potential compromises early and take appropriate action. Tools like UEFI scanners can help identify unauthorized modifications to firmware and bootloaders. In addition to technical measures, fostering a culture of cybersecurity awareness is key. Educating users about the risks of firmware-level threats and promoting best practices for system security can help mitigate the human element of cyber risks. Finally, having a robust incident response plan in place is essential. In the event of a compromise, being prepared to quickly and effectively respond can minimize the impact and aid in the recovery process. This includes having access to specialized tools and expertise to deal with advanced threats like Bootkitty. Section 7. A call to action. The rise of sophisticated threats like Bootkitty underscores the urgent need for a proactive and comprehensive approach to cybersecurity. We must prioritize firmware security, stay vigilant against emerging threats, and continuously adapt our defense strategies. Collaboration is key. By working together, sharing information, and leveraging collective expertise, we can better understand and combat these complex threats. Let's commit to enhancing our security measures, educating our communities, and staying ahead of the curve in the ever-evolving landscape of cybersecurity. Together, we can build a more secure digital future, resilient against the challenges posed by advanced threats like Bootkitty. Thank you for joining us in this critical mission. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay secure.